So what I'm doing here is picking up some charts where there are planets in the 5th house, and in some charts where there are no planets in the 5th house, to see if there is an indication of the deity worshipped. And as I mentioned to you earlier, it's not, I have not applied this across some 30-40 charts and worked it out and see whether the principle is foolproof. So there must be more. In fact, I was just talking to Rosemary, and she has a specific combination where she has malefics in the 5th house, but she's been initiated towards more sattvic devatas. And but the 5th lord over there is with Atmakaraka, which means that there are, we have to look into at different deeper levels to really determine this. Now, I have at least 2 or 3 charts of SGSC gurus over here. I thought it would, since I'm talking about the 5th house and Jupiter is the Karaka, so I would be appeasing the Karaka of my 5th house and it would do me some good. So, one of the guru's charts is here. Okay. Here we see Sun and Venus is in the 5th house. Cancer is a feminine sign, is an even sign, and we have Sun and Venus, which one is a masculine planet and other is a feminine planet, which shows that there is a desire to worship both male and female deities. Now, Sun, as we saw, indicates Shiva and Surya. Sun is dominant in this chart. In trines in Cancer, Sun is more dominant than Venus. So, this person is a very, very devout worshipper of Shiva. He is so devoutly fond of Shiva, he worships Shiva in every form, in his benign form, in his guru form, in his more ugra form. Sun is also his Bhratrikaraka. So, the particular form of Shiva that he is fond of is the Guru Rupa, that is Lord Dakshinamurti. So, that is the form he worships maximum. Now, he is also very fond of Surya, does a lot of Surya worship, very fond of the Gayatri Mantra. He was gifted the Surya Yantra by his Guru. So, we see both the significations of Sun over here, of Surya worship and Shiva worship is indicated over here. Now, if we take the Lord Moon, it's in the 12th house aspected by Mercury. So, Mercury is also 4th lord. So, there is an association with the 4th lord and the 5th lord. So, what does that show? Vishnu worship. So, he is also a worshipper of Vishnu, and the 5th lord being Moon and Venus being placed in it, he is also attracted to Devis, but much more Ugra form of Devis, Devi worship, more the Shakti forms. But primarily, yes, Shiva worship and Vishnu worship over here. So, we are basically taking right now, we talked about Sadhvi Rithambara, which was a very simple case of Moon and Cancer in the 5th house, and that she was a worshipper of the goddess. So, we are talking about taking charts here with planets in the 5th house, and we will then take charts of planets which are not in the 5th house. Okay, there's another thing about this chart. The trines from Karakamsha, there are 4 malefics. So, which means the person has a lot of knowledge in mantra, but fortunately Venus aspects it. So, he will use that mantra to disseminate it for the public good and hopefully not for any black magic or misutilization. Okay. There is another example which I haven't got the chart here. It's of again it's a very, very simplistic explanation, but it sort of explains this dictum very nicely. It's of a lady with a Virgo Lagna, and she has Ketu in the 5th house. Now, she is very pious, very spiritual. Basically, she worships Narayana. She has Lakshmi Narayana installed in her home, and a great devotee. But she has some particular fascination for Ganesha. She is very artistic and she does a lot of interior designing. So, when she looks at driftwoods, she always sees Ganesha in a particular form. So, she has a carpenter and she dictates to the carpenter that, I see Ganesha in this form. So, would you kind of fashion Ganesha in this manner? So if you step into her house, it's like completely amazing. She has this Ganesh